Hey everybody, welcome to the BYOBand.org podcast. I'm Andrew Riefenstahl. In today's episode, we are going to be discussing the very slippery topic of fish. So anyway, we got a great cast together here today. Promise that Lone Star beer may or may not be involved. That's up for you to decide. Having said that, stick around and enjoy the show. All right, everybody, welcome to the podcast. I'm your co-host, Riley Sklar. To my left, we have Lincoln.
What's going on, everybody? I just showed up here. Got surprised by a
pleasantly
interview.
Surprised I was.
Our boy Jay Hugs is with us tonight. We'd like to thank him for coming all the way from South Austin.
Thanks for having me, Andrew and Riley.
And our host tonight, Andrew Riefenstahl.
Hey guys, what's going on down under? I mean down under the water.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Great
down under.
question. Great
So,
segue.
We'd like to introduce our topic of the night, fish.
Fish, the band, dude.
Yes.
Yes, the band, the fish.
With a P.
Real big fish.
Oh, real big fish, too.
Yeah.
Psychedelic stuff.
They're ska.
Trippy. Well, fish.
Or we could talk about
Aquatic life,
aquatic life.
which is also rock and roll.
Yeah.
I'll be providing a lot of alternative facts personally. I don't know much about fish or aquatic life. Or,
It's okay, alternative facts are accepted at this table at all times.
Thank God.
Well, I feel like this is a relevant conversation because Andrew and I visited a local, your LFS, they call it, local fish store this weekend.
What are we talking, pet fish?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love my LFS.
Ponds.
Beta? Got some beta
They had
fish
betas, yeah.
fighting.
But they had ponds, they had like waterfalls outside. You could have like a turtle or
Koi.
a fucking koi.
Nice.
They had like salt water upstairs.
Some rainbow trout.
Trout would be so cool.
Are we just naming the fish we know?
No, that would
Sorry.
be great.
Trey Anastasio.
Well, our local fish store, is a really great place for you to go down and meet your neighbors, meet your local aquarium enthusiasts. You can maybe pick up some food for your hungry fish, or maybe you have a crawfish named Harvey.
It just even advice too. I took a little bit of water. They tested it for me. They said the fucking habitat was.
So you brought
in your
BYOW'd?
Yeah, I scooped it. All I
In
had
your
was like an
aquarium
empty
at home?
salsa jar, so I just put some fish tank water, aquarium water in the jar, took it to the guy.
And what was the diagnosis?
100%.
It was hot.
Wow.
It was spicy hot.
It was hot. There were like
pH water.
there was pico de
Chipotle.
gallo floating around in it, and they were like they worked around that, but
He did
the
not
garlic
have any
levels were
tortilla
high,
chips,
but it was fine.
Tell them about the lady who sold us the critters.
Y'all
Yeah.
bought stuff? You bought stuff.
Oh yeah, so I went for mostly to check it out. It's the Austin, what is it called? Aquadome. And it's like right down the street from here, our podcast location, recording location. Shout out to Austin, Texas.
From Secret Studios, it's just down the way.
It's
Yeah.
right next to the casino bar.
Hey, don't give away our
Nice.
location too much. This is...
Well, it's a
Alright.
secret.
It's a South Austin gym.
Okay.
And it's a house, or it's like a geodetic dome, like a concrete dome on the outside. And then inside is also a dome.
It's not a building. It's not a traditional building. You would hardly recognize it. It looks like a fucking giant, like
It's like an
Jabba the
earth
Hutt.
Like
shit.
Casa Manana, we're talking
Oh,
here.
good reference. Yes, exactly like that, but
I only
much
know
smaller.
a few dome-shaped
I like
buildings.
Jabba's palace, but okay.
Jabba's Palace, okay, I see. I see where
Domes
you're
are used a
going with
lot
that.
in architecture and history just due to their pure strength. They can
That's not
withstand...
Yeah, like a jungle gym, it's kind of like that, but bigger.
Mm-hmm.
You can stand on it. You can put hundreds or thousands of gallons of water in it.
So a dome within a dome.
Aquariums
dome within
inside
dome.
of a dome.
Crazy.
Inside of the bubble we like to refer to as South Austin.
And by gym, you mean this place is not too popular? Not a lot of foot traffic? Or
I had
were
never
there
heard of
other
it.
people in there? Yeah.
But yeah, when we got there, they were doing business. There's fish people in this world, Jordan.
I was going to say, you don't own any fish, but you went with Lincoln, Andrew. Lincoln, you do own fish. Riley, you and I do not
You
own
don't really
fish.
own a fish.
I own a fish album.
You own... Okay. That joke will never get old. You don't own a fish. Yes, you do.
I
You
care
purchased
for
it.
I care for the
You bought it.
aquarium.
You own it.
That's true.
Where I come from, when you buy something, it's yours.
Due to
and
the
you
laws
own it.
of capitalism and economies, you are now the
The
sole
owner.
proprietor.
So my question is,
The fish.
Yeah.
My question is, Lincoln, what makes you a fish person? And flip question, Andrew, were you hankering to buy a fish?
I'm going to
Lincoln,
step
you
in
first.
and I'm going to take that,
Okay.
thanks. I really appreciate it, guys. So here, not being a fish person, seeing all the beautiful fish was really cool. There was families there, fathers and kids. Then you had these crazy people, one-legged pirate.
Yeah.
And I don't know what he was looking for. Something about gold.
Booty.
Booty, yeah.
The cashier was.
He was looking for the little
you're right.
treasure chest that you can put in your aquarium. He's like, I found it. There it is.
It blows bubbles.
Yeah.
That's where old Black Eye left the code. He said in the dome in the awkward. I've
So-
solved the riddle. Yeah, so it was great, and there were so cool saltwater, like fluorescent lights. Gotta go, gotta see it. If you don't respect water, you suck.
Yeah.
Whoa.
that.
Water is
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
No, it was nice. They had like coral and everything, and you kind of understand it's like a whole ecosystem. And it's like a lot of maintenance, that you just have to. You can't just put a fish in a bucket
But so
of
this
water.
isn't like a fish store where you're going in and they're fish in tanks and you buy them from the tank. This is like an experience type. thing.
No, these are all for sale.
Are there salespeople?
Yeah,
Both, yeah. for sure,
everything's for
both on
sale.
that.
Okay.
But there's
Wild.
$1,000 pieces there,
When you
Like,
say-
what do you, What do
Yeah,
you mean
$1,000 pieces.
like a piece of coral
Like
or
dime
like
piece?
a fish.
Oh yeah, there
like
were
a
some.
babe?
Certain fish are like super rare and
Okay.
super expensive.
And how are they getting them to Austin?
That's a good question. I mean, they ship them in boxes and shit.
First class?
Yeah.
Are we talking coach? Where are these
mean,
fish
They have to
flying?
be in the
Sensitive.
pressurized cabin
But yeah,
for sure.
quick. There's probably a dirty business.
Are
for
there
catching,
any
like,
flying
We
fish?
should actually, for our investigative reporters out there, we should look
Might
into
be a hot
fish
topic.
trafficking.
Exotic fish trade might be
Yeah.
something that we should crack the whip on. I know a big problem is people buy fancy fish and let them go, and that's how you get like invasive species that like really fuck up stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The lionfish is a good example.
Okay. That's poisonous, right?
Yeah, you've seen it. It's like gold and orange and like it's all like
I saw one scuba diving.
yeah. So they got out in the Caribbean. They're from like the Indian Ocean, like Thailand and shit.
Yeah.
And they have natural predators there.
Sharks, whatnot.
Just stuff, octopus. There's things that can eat them like over there
Turtles.
where they're native from. But they got out from tourists in the U.S. and like Central America and shit. Not tourists, but like fish people.
Fish traffickers.
Anyways, they got to the Caribbean now.
Hey, I'm just visiting here, and I brought this lionfish.
Try to let him go.
Run, let go.
Why
Gonna
why
let
do
him
you
go.
think that
I think it like started in Florida, and they got out and they like wreak havoc on the coral reefs. So now there's like charters. It's like let's go out and hunt lionfish, and they give you like a spear gun, and you can go out
Holy
and kill as
shit.
many fucking
what
lionfish.
I
you
don't
want.
understand is how it's assumed that they've been smuggled by human activity into the Caribbean Ocean, whereas the
They weren't there in the 80s, and now they're the like apex predator, and they're tearing shit up.
okay, that's fair, but is it unheard of to think that the lionfish swam from Thailand to
Yeah.
the Caribbean?
Yeah,
Very unheard of.
I can
It's all connected,
fairly
right?
confidently say
Whales travel thousands of miles.
Yeah, and it's not like the same lionfish. Maybe they bred in Hawaii and then they came
Like
to
the monarch butterfly.
But
Yeah.
think of the distance a whale is traveling and
Yeah.
the speed versus what a tiny lionfish could really.
And
do.
what
I
are you
saw
eating
a
inside?
massive-
well, your mom seems to get around just fine.
Oh!
For all our listeners,
When I lay down, my
apologize.
room is round. When I wake up, it's square. Little fish
I want
bust
a
right
round-
there.
Yeah, that was a
Okay.
good one.
Listen,
Round room.
there's
good
no
album.
need to bring my mother into this. She's actually allergic to shellfish, so it's kind of a sensitive subject.
Lisa, if you ever listen to this, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about a metaphysical, entertainment, character-based mother that we all use as an effigy for our jokes. Please understand.
Thanks for clarifying that.
Yeah.
That was a nice clarification.
I think our relationship's cool.
Yeah, shout out to Lisa.
My mom doesn't listen to
No
this.
disrespect.
Not yet.
I don't think we've tapped into the conservative audience just
What
yet.
about Jordan Hughes in 42? When you run for president, they're gonna uncover all of this content on your ass.
It's actually funny. I'll be eligible in the year 2036. So
Oh,
Nice.
we all know
What
that
is that,
Will
45?
Hicks is gonna
Will
win in
Hicks is
36.
going to win. Will Hicks in 36. Everybody knows.
We got your back, Will. You better get some progressive policies before then. But I'm saying, no matter what, we got your back. Will Hicks, 36.
We're getting sidetracked. Lionfish.
Yeah.
There's no way. I mean, think about traveling from the Indian Ocean to the Caribbean. if it could first of all do it, it would surely get eaten on the way by something, right?
Starve
no
to
way.
death, die of
It's not,
exhaustion.
but you're misunderstanding. It's not the fact that one fish itself swam that length. It's like generations of fish bred on the way. Like just how humans.
I guess the easiest
Finding
way
Nemo.
maybe to understand it would just to imagine their like lifestyle. You know, if you're a snake or you're a sloth, you know, you're gonna hang out like in a tree for a while.
That's a good point.
You know, and so if you're a lionfish, you're gonna hang out in like
They're
a
not-
few
they're not
square
traveling,
meters
yeah.
of like
They're not traveling
coral
type things.
and just dominate that area, so they can't swim fucking 100 meters.
First comparison of a sloth to a lionfish ever in history. Record that, chart that down. No one's ever called a
Well,
lionfish
I mean,
a
because
sloth.
maybe it could hop a ride on a like
You know what?
dugout canoe.
Or a turtle. We've all seen it in the
Turtles
feature
can
film.
swim.
The true, based
Finding
on true
Nemo.
facts, Finding Nemo. No alternative facts there. Fish can ride the current.
That's a great movie.
You know what we should do, Link? Is we
And
should
they
get
hate
a
on
turtle.
fish tanks, aquariums.
We should get a turtle for the tank. I think that would be a nice addition. Harvey would make friends.
Yeah, like a red-eared slider.
Andrew, what are your thoughts on turtles?
Good for the ecosystem. Fun to look at.
There's a ton of them in Barton Springs.
Yeah, there are a ton. I've had
I'm
turtles
gonna have
before.
to go with you, and they are cool to look at. They are really strange creatures. I dig them.
Like the snapping turtle.
I just
Gnarly,
fell
dude.
asleep the other night watching some strange Galapagos turtle stuff, and they're really cool to look at. But man, they look like disgusting and ugly and just dirty. I mean, they
The
obviously-
tortoise.
The tortoise. I'm sorry, that's right. The tortoise versus the turtle. Yeah, a tortoise really is a disgusting creature.
Well, what
I
looks
have
good
to
when
say.
they're 100 years old?
Yeah, dude.
man.
Give turtles some credit, man. They
Willie Nelson, brother.
Yeah. Willie.
I don't think he's quite 100 yet.
He's kicking. He's really,
Mm-hmm.
just grinding away on tour.
But looking good.
Isn't a turtle an amphibian?
It's
Mhm.
a reptile.
It's a reptile.
Is it?
Okay. Yeah. So it's more advanced than amphibs.
An amphibian would be like
I
a,
thought an amphibian is both.
It's
Can-
in between. It's the transitional from fish to reptile.
See, that's
Or
interesting.
Not directly, obviously. It's a lineage
Right.
thing.
How many
so-
different,
like a
you know,
salamander.
one thing
There you
that's
go,
cool to
yeah.
compare is the fact that we have so many different points of
For
proof
those of you
evolution.
who couldn't. Go ahead. I'm sorry. You're talking serious shit.
We're
here.
making the salamander
Andrew's
face.
hilarious.
Anyway, so there's so many different points where you can prove evolution. So we have so much evidence to back it. It's basically fact. I mean, it's not basically fact. It is fact.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if you believe in like
Science.
natural
Truth
like,
and-
processes and laws of nature and things, then
Right.
yes, it's a fact.
it's a fact, right? So one of those transitions or one of those facts being amphibians, the existence of amphibians and how they represent the transition between reptiles and mammals.
Yeah, exactly. They have a word. They have a word for that. Transition fossils is something Darwin like called out in his like whatever thing he wrote, and like a few years later they
The
found,
origin of species.
Yeah, like 2 years later after he published it, he was in deep shit, and like they found this like bird with teeth and a tail, fossils, and he was like, "I fucking told you." Just like the dinosaurs evolved into birds, and the birds are still here. They found the transition species, the
Yeah.
transition fossils, to prove that there was a thing.
So there's so many different points that we can connect together in order to come up with the fact of evolution. So what other topics are there out there that are proven facts and not alternative facts?
Climate change.
They still call evolution a theory because I still think, it's a big picture and we've unlocked like 90% of it. But there's like,
Sure, there are
10%
missing links.
of-
There are missing links.
yeah.
Well, wouldn't you contribute that to like, I mean, evolution is not necessarily a quick thing. It's like you have to document it and record it and watch it, and I feel like it's not just an overnight. We haven't evolved overnight. Nothing's evolved overnight.
I mean, that's the perception of time, like geological time versus human time.
Mm-hmm.
The Earth's been around for billions of
For
years,
sure.
and we can't even comprehend what that means. So yeah, evolution is tens and thousands, hundreds of thousands of years of
So
change.
our idea of time limits
Yeah.
that idea, right? Because we only think like 70, 80 years.
But we can understand in
Versus
terms of history.
how long? Yeah.
We can,
yeah.
I mean, we can understand smaller.
Yeah, I mean, you could
quantities.
always look back at history and find stuff.
How
It's
useful
has that been?
boring.
But when you don't have evidence
I'm a
going that
futurist,
far
my
back,
man.
Looking in the
Okay.
forward.
Yeah, looking in the forward. You heard it here first, folks. That's
the cool thing about perspective on the long term of life is you can look at a fish and be like, dude, you were the fucking top dog at one point. You know, you have respect for life. That's why like it's good to have that evolutionary
Because they
perspective.
exist.
Yeah, because they exist, they have been a successful.
They've been chosen naturally
Yeah.
by natural selection to
Right
exist
now.
at this point in time.
Yeah, at this moment, you know.
Because things are becoming extinct constantly.
Yeah. And humans are like the best at like realizing and controlling
That we know of
Uh,
so far.
What? Humans best? Did I just hear?
Or
an
because we identify
oxymoron?
the animal and then it goes extinct because we're destroying its habitat.
Okay.
And, like,
Well, we're identified as sentient beings. But we haven't found other sentient beings. We found...
but it's all relative. Sometimes when I look into my aquarium and I think about my crawfish, he thinks about stuff.
Oh, there's
Yeah,
no denying
no
that.
doubt. It's
don't know
all
about that.
relative.
He thinks about when is this dude gonna boil me?
So he
And
knows I'm a
eat me.
dude. He knows he's food. Go on.
Okay, when is this it
Gender
gonna
neutral.
gender neutral? We were very gender neutral on here.
Or is he just food?
Probably.
Move.
Yeah.
There's science to back that up. Like goldfish, for example. You can run experiments with whether or not they have intelligence based on where they go and things like that. And it's proven that they're just like, you know, don't have a thought process.
But they can like
That we can perceive though,
Yeah.
based on our grounds of perception.
Yeah.
Like, so they're like, we feel pain. We have thoughts that relate to our existence. But I mean,
Right.
like,
It's within
I'm
their
not saying they're having thoughts. Like, he's not waking up like, where are my car keys? But Harvey's like his. And we all know, or
Is
my
this the
opinion is
crawfish?
thoughts
Yeah,
are
Harvey.
thoughts are chemicals. You know, ultimately at the end of the day. So
Mhm.
if you cater to that thought,
Shooting
it
back
makes
and
it
forth
easier to be
between-
like, oh, the crawfish has a chemical thought shoot through his head.
Right, they're still called thoughts in that sense
That's
that they're
wild.
chemicals,
Yeah,
but they're
yeah.
relative to his existence, whereas ours are a little bit more complex.
I don't know. Sometimes I think about my dog's existence and like how chill it seems sometimes. So sometimes I think being sentient, it's not all it's cracked up to be.
yeah.
I hate thinking about like when I'm gonna have to masturbate again.
I wish I
like,
could just be inanimate, man. That would
who
be so
and when I
heavy.
think who farted, because like you know what I'm talking about.
Sometimes it's better to that not have to worry about stuff like that.
Exactly. A dog farts and doesn't look around like, hey, who did that? Like, you
Yeah,
know.
they do. They're like, hell yeah.
Oh,
Where that
Hey,
at?
buddy.
Oh,
Oh,
where
yeah.
is that?
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
you know, a dog's not like he who smelt it dealt it, and then runs off into the forest gallivanting. But
Dude, if you want to get real inanimate, just smoke some K2, bro.
Oh my god.
I'm into, yeah, I mean, I don't even smoke weed. I only smoke the legal, like, stuff that you can buy at the store. So,
Yeah, that's good. Stay within the law because those are ethical and moral.
Yeah.
Mhm. Definitely. Bath salts.
Yeah, BYOBand wants to do some experimentation with fishing K2. So please, if you can get at our website.
Wow.
You know, we
Yes.
really want to break that fourth dimension to know more about what fish are thinking. Go check
I
us
have
out.
dropped some like, you know, marijuana buds into the fish tank before.
You're
What?
kidding.
Well, I
Really?
may have been like
With
tripping on
your fish
shrooms, and
food?
I was like, let's see.
With fish food, like,
No, just like they're probably hungry. What if we feed them weed and they eat it and then
Hmm.
watch them and try to figure out how high they were?
I don't know if that's how they
The answer to the
operate.
question is not as high as we were.
Well, they're edibles.
You remember when they
You have
used
no
to
way
do-
to
They
gauge
are
how much
edibles.
THC
It
they
could have kicked in
ingested.
later.
You remember those like LSD tests they had in the 60s and 50s?
Yeah, they tried on everything. Put in rabbits.
Why don't
put
they
in-
do that shit anymore? At least not
Oh, of
publicly.
course they do. Well, I mean, they probably should. You know,
That'd be way cool.
there
if
should
they
be
were.
out in the open scientific research behind.
Yeah, it's
like,
illegal to do that.
Yeah, right. So that's the government like getting in our like.
Fuck the government. Fuck the drug war. We need people doing like badass tests on all that shit in the public and
Having their own aquariums, having their own drugs, testing the drugs on their aquariums.
Pumping LSD.
For all those
into
listeners
a
out there, I do
tank.
not endorse animal abuse or any sort of.
Ethics, people. Animal ethics. Where do we draw the line?
the laws.
I'd like to
man.
call bullshit on Lincoln. Last time I was at his house, Harvey was wearing lipstick. And that is something you should not test on any animal. Cosmetics, I mean, come on. What are we talking here? Bad enough on a dead body. Okay? Sorry.
Damn, was that a cold-blooded reference? No. Ooh.
I mean, just a little snippet of a future podcast we may be bringing out.
Yeah, so check us out, byoband.org/join. We'd love to, you know,
Is that
have your
real?
support. So, what are your experiences with fish? Let's just go around the table and just, what do fish mean to you?
Is a dolphin a mammal?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. So it's not a fish.
Maybe you can ask the game master to change the definition for your needs.
I mean, if we're talking
Seafaring
about
creatures.
what's your
Seafaring creatures, even better.
if I'm talking about like my most memorable experience with some sort of like oceanic
Well, you like to
seafaring
eat
creature.
them. You like to.
Well, I love fish. Yeah, I
Draw
love to eat
pictures of
fish. Love
them.
shellfish. I have swam with dolphins. That was super fun. I mean, that's like the first thing that comes to my mind.
That's interesting. Where they like push you.
I
and
realized,
stuff?
no, they were super cool,
Where was
man. These
that?
were chill ass dolphins.
Like in nature or like
Curacao.
Oh, I've been to Curacao.
Yeah. It's a good place, lovely place. Didn't do any
It is
fishing.
a lovely place.
But, you know, the Gulf is right here. So I've had a lot of like jellyfish experiences. Dead, washed up on the shore of the Gulf.
Stingrays.
Stingrays.
Shout out to Galveston,
Yeah.
best beach town in the world.
Dead zone.
I mean, I haven't fished too much. Someone with more experience than me, please take the wheel.
Tell us about your fish experience, Riley.
So my latest fish experience has to be. Now this is not exactly a fish. Can it be marine life?
Yeah, marine life.
Well, you
in
said
general is fine.
seafaring earlier, which
You
covers
caught Harvey
humans.
with me.
I didn't physically catch him, but yes, I was.
You
I
were
was
the captain
I was
of
the
the vessel
seafaring captain. Yeah.
that put us in the journey through the like dark, scary
Yeah,
waters.
that was a great capture, honestly. So I've had many encounters with fish under the ocean.
Yeah.
Some
What
of
do
my
fish mean to
favorites.
you?
Yeah, some
Or
of
what
my
do they
favorites.
represent, or what do
I
you see?
stared an eel in the face for.
That's cool. Big old green.
Yeah, coming out of a
crooked
piece
teeth,
of.
looking at you all.
And he was mean looking, so that was
Yeah.
scary. I've seen a barracuda up close. Yeah, those are quite.
Oh, yeah.
I've
I've seen some alligator gar.
Yeah?
Those are really interesting.
Those are
like,
creepy, man.
Yeah, really strange mix of an alligator and whatever the fuck a gar is.
Yeah.
I have no clue what that
And they
is.
get like 15 feet
They
long.
get big. and
Huge.
weird.
For all of our listeners out there not from the South, look up alligator gar. Creepy motherfuckers.
Yeah, if you don't believe in dinosaurs, I'll bring one over and hit you over the head with it.
A dinosaur or an alligator gar?
Pretty much transition. It's a transition animal.
Animal.
It's right between salamander and like whale.
Now, Lincoln's going to close out our segment here with a emotional, passionate speech about marine life.
Marine life. No, I won't. I think, yeah. I have a passion for water. And I grew up with my dad had a fish tank, and I just like the sound of the water like dropping on water and moving around and like looking into it. You know, you can grow plants under it. It's just sort of, it's mostly about water. And when you can sustain an ecosystem, it's even cooler. So that's why I'm kind of an aquarium guy. And also I like to get high and look at my fish and think about if they're thinking about me.
H2O, baby.
Beautiful thing.
Can't live with it. Can't live
without
without
it.
it.
It's been a pleasure again.
Well, thanks for sticking around and hanging out with the BYOBand.org. Don't forget to go to our website at www.byoband.org and let us know what you think in the comments section. Having said that, I love you listeners, whoever you are out there. Peace out.